What's up, everybody? We are back today with another episode of Bro to Bro, the Cosma edition. Now, I am solo today, as you can see, but we're going to do a little video on the Patrica signing back with the Ohio State Buckeyes and returning to the 2026 season. I know I said that kind of crazy. Forget it all about that, what I just said about the year. I know I messed up, but we're going to continue on. So, screw off. But anyways, what a day. It's great for the program, and especially for Ryan Day, because I know he was definitely stressing about Patrica coming back and beating DC. Because he already lost his offensive coordinator and Brian Hartline going to USF Bowls down in Tampa Bay. But it's Ohio State. I think you can get almost any offensive coordinator job or any offensive coordinator in the country, even if it's NFL or college level, if we're being quite honest. It's one of the top jobs in America, OC, DC, head coach, no matter what. Always get the talent, year in and year out. It shows every year. They develop guys, right coaches in there, Ryan Day. I know he's gotten some slack in the last couple of years from not being Michigan. But he finally did it this year. Got that monkey off his back. But now it's time to move forward. Because this past year, I think it was kind of disappointment. Because as an Ohio State fan myself, I think it was a little disappointment that they didn't get past the second round, even though they got a first round bye. Their offense looked a little lackluster. I think their offensive line needed some work. Most of the guys are coming back besides Tegra, who transferred out. But I'm very curious on this defense. I'm not worried about the secondary as much. I'm worried about that front, their D-line. But obviously, I think we had some questions last year, or questions coming into this past season that took place with the new DC and Patrica, because Jim Knowles left Ohio State to be the DC at Penn State, which now he is out of there as well, and now is at DC at Tennessee. So we'll see what happens with Patrica. We saw it this year, it was just a one-year sample size, but he did a hell of a job there. One of the best defenses in the country, if not the best. I think they only allowed like 12 points or so, 10, 11 points, whatever it was, which is still an incredible feat for this team. But I think the one downfall of that team from last year was the schedule. I think the schedule did not help Ohio State last year, and obviously showed when it mattered the most, when they played against Indiana, the Big Ten championship game, ended up losing 13-10, and then obviously losing to Miami in the Cotton Bowl, 24-14. Granted, the defense only gave up 17. I know it said 24 on the scoreboard, but the defense only gave up 17 points. I think it was the most they gave up the entire year. The only other team that scored over like 14 or 15 was O&M, and they dropped 16. But at the end of the day, Ryan Day got his guy back. Patricia's coming back. We'll see how this team looks. I'm very curious. The whole offense is coming back with minus Cardinal Tape, but year in, year out. They got guys coming at receiver. I'm not too worried about the receiver spot. They'll be a little bit younger there, which I'm okay with. Have a new receiver coach from LSU. Hopefully we get some rotation, because Brian Hartline wasn't the greatest at rotating players in and out, which, probably one of the reasons why these guys got hurt in the season. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But I think I'm excited for Patrica staying and coming back to Columbus and being a DC. I feel a lot more comfortable now knowing that he is coming back for at least for the 2026 season. I don't know. We'll see. The schedule is definitely harder. Obviously, we play Oregon, play USC. We don't play Penn State this year, which is kind of unusual. They play Texas at Texas. They play Iowa. They play Indiana. So I think this year the schedule will actually help them more in the long run. Because last year it didn't, obviously, because their schedule was one of the more weaker ones in the Big Ten. And I'm not a biased Ohio State fan. I keep it real. I keep it very real. You could ask anybody. I keep it very 100 is what they say. But the schedule should, help them get better week in and week out because, like I said before, it definitely showed those last 2 games of the year because of the talent that we played during the season. The only tough game that we really had, the 2 tough games that we had were the first week against Texas and the very last week against Michigan. But other than that, I think Illinois was a good team. I will say that. But the rest of those games were kind of like, okay, we're just getting reps and then subbing our guys out in the game. We didn't really have a game where it was a dogfight. Besides the Texas game, but that's week 1. You still got 11 more weeks to play. So I'm excited for them this season. I'm not sure what the record's going to be, but I know we got Ohio State. They got a lot of the guys coming back on offense with Julian Sane, Jeremiah Smith, Brandon Ennis, guys from the portal, Bo Jackson coming back, running back. We got all of our offensive line basically coming back this year as well. So we'll see. Defense, like I said, I got a little bit of questions in the front, and we got obviously that's our 2 star linebackers, and Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles are gone. So probably be filled in by Peyton Pierce and Riley Pigeon, and you'll probably see some TJ Alford as well, probably, or one of the younger guys that comes in. See what happens. But at the end of the day, as an Ohio State fan, how happy are you right now that Matt Patricia comes back? I'm ecstatic. Ryan Day, we'll see how Arthur Smith, fits in as the OC as well. A lot of people were giving him shit when he was the coach for the OC for the Steelers. Oh, he wasn't doing that good, blah blah blah, this and that. No, I don't think that's I don't think that's partially his fault. I think Mike Tomlin, as great a coach that he was, he didn't build the best roster in offense. It was always defensive. I know the saying, defense win championships. I know that for a fact. Obviously, it showed this year with the Seahawks. But I don't think he let Arthur Smith do everything that he wanted to do. Everyone's like, oh, he ran the ball a lot, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, the only player he could throw to on the offensive side of the ball is Pat Fryermuth, Jonnu Smith. I know they have the tight ends were great, and Washington as well. Darnell Washington, who's big as shit. But other than that, they had DK Metcalf on the outside. Because they traded George Pickens to the Cowboys, and he balled out this year. Balled out. They missed him. I don't know why they would trade him. I know he's got Walker issues, blah, blah. Fuck that. Okay? George Pickens was your number 1 receiver, and you traded him. But back to Ohio State. I'm excited to see what Arthur Smith does, too, with his offense. He's probably, salivating with Jeremiah Smith and Bo Jackson. But they need to tighten up at that front. Offensive line needs to get better because it showed against Miami. They got dominated. They couldn't run the ball. They ran for 50 yards that game. That cannot happen for Ohio State. This team cannot rush for 50 yards in a game like that because they will not win. Because if you can't run the ball, they know you're going to pass the ball. So they got to quit it. They got to stop it. And at the end of the day, big win for Ohio State moving into the 2026 season. Let me know down below in the comment section on your guys' thoughts on Matt Patricia coming back to Ohio State. And we will see you guys next time in the next video. Peace.